All right. Welcome to Unstoppable Agents. This is the show where real estate agents come to build their business, build their wealth, and build a life of impact and significance.
So regular updates, I'm talking about on a daily basis, you're updating. You're posting either about articles or rates or what's going on in the current market, explaining what a median house price is, what the average house price is, what that means to buyers, what it means to sellers.
I'm your host, Brian White. I'm a North Texas realtor, team leader, broker associate at EXP Realty. And we do this show each and every week. We do it to bring some tips, really help people build their business and make a difference. And I like to say that real estate in life really is not only a contact sport, but it's an impact sport. And we're called to make an impact on the world and try to help others get to the level of success that we have and hopefully even beyond. So that's what the show is all about. I'm excited today because I'm joined by Alan Elmore of AE Properties out in New Mexico. So Alan, welcome. Thanks for joining me today.
Hey, thanks for having me, Brian.
Let's go back to the beginning. Let's talk about your real estate story.
Okay.
How'd you get started in real estate? How long you been doing it? Kind of walk me through your start.
I haven't been doing real estate for that long. October 1st was my 2-year anniversary in real estate.
Okay.
Before that, I owned a print classified ads paper and a marketing company. We did promotional marketing, management, online marketing, digital, direct mail, pretty much any kind of marketing you could think of, radio ads, etc. Basically what happened is COVID shut everything down, shut our state down.
Yeah.
And it really didn't seem it was going to be able to reopen the company. It wasn't making financial sense to reopen at that point. Most of my clients were either out of business permanently or shut down temporarily, or were only allowed to reopen at a certain capacity. So it left me looking for something else to do. And my talents, sales, marketing, advertising, those kind of things, big to sell, honestly. Homes seemed like it. I thought about it for a couple of days before ordering the classes and have had a passion for it ever since. It's been nonstop.
That's great. Have you considered reopening the print business at all since you got started in real estate?
Not at all. No.
Okay, that's great. So you got started really just 2 years ago, coming out of what was a disaster. And I visited New Mexico in the middle of it. And I mean, you guys were absolutely positively shut down.
Yeah, they turned off everything. So it was tough.
So when you got started, what did you do? Lots of folks that watch our show are new to real estate. What are some of the first things you did, maybe that worked, maybe some that didn't?
Okay, so the number one thing I did, everybody's stuck at home during COVID, so I increased my social media presence. I started by adding new friends, adding new followers, making friends with people that had mutual friends, maybe people I just met once or twice, increasing my following on social media. And then the next thing I did was I started talking, before I even got into the real estate game, I started talking about what I was doing, started talking about studying for real estate, the books I was reading. I met with some home inspectors. I met with pest inspectors. I followed them on pest inspections. I followed people on home inspections. We did selfies. They helped me do cross promotion. I followed appraisers around, did the same thing, met with other realtors and did the same thing. And this is all before I'm even licensed. So the day I have my license, I already had, I think, 2 buyers and a seller lined up, waiting for me to be licensed.
Okay, so I love this because it's such a misnomer and a limiting belief for people that people think, oh, I'm new, nobody would want to work with me.
Right.
Oh, I'm new, I have to hide that fact and look much bigger, much more famous, much more successful than I actually am. And you went the opposite direction. You went, here's where I'm at in life, here's what I'm doing, here's what I'm getting started. And brand new as an agent, you had clients.
The day I was an agent. And you know what, I really tried to, in the beginning, I was branding myself as an outsider anyway, an industry outsider, somebody coming into the industry who was looking to meet other outsiders. And that's what I was doing when I interviewed people and your home inspectors and pest inspectors and appraisers and stuff. I was asking them stuff too. I was asking them, what are agents doing that you love? And what do agents do that you absolutely hate? What are the best and worst practices? And I made a lot of notes on this too, coming into it, not knowing what it was going to be like to be an agent, because you know this, when you take the real estate courses, basically none of that information applies to this at all. No. You step into this and it's completely different than that. And so I was trying to learn these best and worst practices on top of what they were teaching in real estate school. But still, I stepped into it and had clients and had no idea what to do.
Yeah. So I like to say, I started my real estate career at another brokerage. And the first thing they do when you're newly licensed is they put you through a 6-week training course. Now, to their credit, that training course really is applicable to doing real estate. But it's 6 weeks and not getting paid.
It is.
And at the end of those 6 weeks, you're still confused by your first client. You're still struggling to work through the contract. You're still all of those things. The best way to learn it is by getting a client, by writing contracts, by having a mentor that's going to work through the deal with you, which is a great thing that EXP does. Is your first 3 deals, you actually have a mentor that they're working through the contract with you. It's on-the-job training, and the only way to get on-the-job training is to actually be on the job.
And at the time, whenever I started so I'm in Farmington, New Mexico. That's northwestern New Mexico. When I started, there were no EXP agents here. I was approached by, whenever I was realizing that I was going to get into real estate, I was approached by an EXP agent out of Albuquerque, and she showed me everything, and it was beautiful. I really loved the idea. But as a solo agent starting out in Farmington, New Mexico, it didn't make sense to me. Now we have something like 15 or 20 agents here in EXP, which is really good to see and nice that we all work great together. But I chose my real estate company based on I had somebody there physically that I was able to partner with at the time. And my qualifying broker was just he's an excellent dude. The other people at that agency, I'm still very close with, but they all walked me through the process. They didn't expect much from me. They walked me through my first few deals, which was nice.
Really. So let's talk about that. So you didn't start at EXP and did a couple of years in, or joined, left, and made a change, but probably sounds like 15 months in, give or take, something like that. So,
yes, sir.
So why? That's a relatively quick shift. So what caused you to make the change? What value did you see that said, hey, you know what, now's the time?
There were a couple of things. My first full year in real estate would have been last year, right? 2021. I was tracking, so I did 75 sides last year.
Oh, wow. Big number.
It was a lot. And handling that on my own. But I'm seeing I see the kind of snowball effect, and I'm seeing things really start to pick up, and I'm starting to get more referrals, and I'm already starting to get repeat customers and people I'm working with for multiple deals, investors, etc. So I know where this is going. I know I want to build a team. I read Millionaire Real Estate Agent by Gary Keller years ago and really absorbed it. And I'm like, I've got to build this team. So I've got this goal to have a team, but I also wanted ownership. And that's something that I really wanted in real estate. I wanted to be part of a company that I owned and had a stake in. And my really wonderful broker at the company I was previously at, I did go to him and ask him, look, is there a way down the road? Can we talk about this? Can I buy into this company eventually? And that was my goal, is that I could be an owner and partner with him down the road, buy in slowly, whatever it takes, learn. And he was flattered by it and never came back to me with an answer, which I don't fault him for. He's built this from scratch, and it's his baby. And I'm coming here asking him, this new guy, asking him, hey, how do I buy in? Well, anyway, a guy from Colorado, I actually met a realtor at Hot Springs on Mother's Day. He's there with his wife, and I'm there with mine and our kids. And we kind of hit it off, and he said, hey, would you be interested in going to a Tony Robbins event? And I said, yeah, probably,
in Dallas.
In Dallas, yeah. So that was 2021. He paid for my ticket to go to the event, got the gold pass even, so it was really nice. I got to see Tony up close and personal, and I got sold on EXP, man. I loved the fact that you have ownership, that they give you stock, that they make you I feel like I'm really part of it instead of working for it. I'm not a cog, you know what I'm saying? So
Good.
I feel like a partner in the company, and that's what I really enjoyed about the experience. Came back and was going to wait for things to slow down a little bit through the winter. That never happened. So eventually I just had to pull the plug and say, first, I'm leaving. Told my boss, I think I had 12 or 15 sides open right then. And that was a hard move, but came over to EXP, brought another broker with me on my team. So it was a team of 2, and we got to work. I think in our first 6 months at EXP, we did 66 sides. So between the 2 of us, and now we brought on an executive assistant and 2 other brokers. So we have a team of 5.
Good for you. That's amazing. And again, congratulations on a great decision and doing well so quickly. Let's talk about how you've done it.
Okay.
You mentioned earlier that you specifically told me about branding
Yes.
and marketing. So let's talk about that and then evolve from there. So let's talk about how
Okay.
you've built it and what you do to get so many transactions going.
Okay, and I started as the outsider. I use social media. Social media is a really strong tool. If you're not using social media to its fullest extent, you're missing out on a huge chunk. People talk on social media about buying and selling houses, whether you're there or not. They're gonna find agents on social media. You're gonna get recommended on social media. That was a big part of it, was increasing my social media.
So what does that mean? Right? So today you've got Facebook personal and business pages, you got Instagram, you got TikTok, you got YouTube, you got LinkedIn. Twitter's apparently alive again. You got all the places to be. So what kinds of things are you posting? Are you doing group? There's so many things. What's working for you?
So Facebook seems to be my largest, and I think it's market dependent. So some markets, I think it's going to be Instagram is going to be bigger than Facebook, or Twitter is going to be bigger than Facebook. In our market, Facebook is huge. Facebook allowed me to make business pages as well as a personal page. Now, the way I started it was one of the business pages was my real estate page. The other business page was Four Corners Real Estate Update. Here's the thing you can do with Facebook pages that not a lot of people know about. You can create a Facebook page for, let's say, local events. And you can just pump out local events, and you can use Facebook marketing to increase the number of followers on that page. And then you can change the name of the page. So we increased the size of that page. I think we have something like, we have over 7,000 followers on that particular page. And now that page is the team page. That's AE Property. Alan Elmore's page, it started out as something else as well, but evolved to Alan Elmore plus AE Property. So I have two Facebook pages, and I think we have something like 13,000 followers between the two. And then the personal Facebook page has 3.6 thousand followers as well.
So if you think about the things that you did to build up the viewership, build up the followership, was that talking about local community events? Was that providing market? Okay, so tell us what you did, because 7,000 followers on a Facebook page that's substantial. That's a good number. So what?
Yeah, that's where we started. We started with community events on the page and just supporting businesses, supporting the community, trying to help businesses stay open during COVID and not fall apart during that. Yeah. But then it evolved to real estate market updates. So regular updates, I'm talking about on a daily basis, you're updating. You're posting either about articles or rates or what's going on in the current market, explaining what a median house price is, what the average house price is, what that means to buyers, what it means to sellers. And at the same time, so you're posting this information, but at the same time, what you're doing is you're branding yourself as a real estate expert.
Sure.
I've only been in it 2 years. If on paper, if you look at it, I'm a rookie in real estate, and people might think that if they didn't see me constantly talking about it and presenting myself as number one, an outsider, but number two, an expert in the field. And sure. I made myself an expert in the field.
And in reality, and you really are, right? Because if you think the average agent will do 6 to 8 deals a year. The average agent that's actually in business. The number is actually much lower than that. But if you look at the people that are productive, do 6 to 8 deals a year. If you did 66, and that was just through your first part of the year, but you're still doing 10x the average agent. So you've got 10 years of experience compared to the average
that's what
agent.
I was thinking, like dog years.
Yeah, dog years. That's kind of a dog years kind of business. So it's okay. So that's what you're doing on Facebook. Any other socials that you're doing at a high level?
We're doing Instagram and TikTok at a pretty high level. I'm trying to incorporate YouTube. The growth is slow on YouTube so far, but we're trying to incorporate that. And then Twitter, I haven't really found my niche in Twitter yet, but I don't think it's big in my market. So very few followers, not much of a response to anything I'm doing there. Facebook and Instagram seem to be the really strong tokens here. Instagram is less about business. We post happy pictures. We sold happy pictures. We helped a buyer, stuff like that.
So going back to the Facebook business page and driving the traffic. So the content that you're creating, are you boosting and posting it? Or boosting it and running ads to get more followers? Is that how you're driving the traffic?
That is. So that's how we're increasing the traffic. Basically, a few of the tools we do, every time a house sells and we have the sign and we put up a sold sign, I take a selfie with a sold sign. I've been doing that since the beginning, but I have something like 100 of them now. So we were able to create videos out of that, montages different things, backgrounds where you have just a ton of these. And it really seems, I'm branding myself as a listing agent, obviously, within the team. But yeah, showing people the personal side too, talking about the sales, tagging your vendors and the people that helped you in it, your partners at the title company, your partners at the lending office, etc., getting them tagged in it. The realtor on the other side, I love to promote them as well. I think that's a big part of, and the attraction to EXP is that if we can promote other realtors and help them and be kind to them and professional with them, then they're going to come to us and wonder why we're so happy at EXP. They come to you.
That's a good word right there, because I think so often the natural tendency is, well, I don't want to promote any other agents. Well, if I promote another agent, then I'm reducing my exposure. No, you're
Not
actually
at all.
getting exposed to all of their audience too.
You are every time you tag them.
But you're also just building them up and edifying them, and hopefully they did a good job, so they're worthy of the building up and the edifying. So it's like, high five, you were great, and you want to celebrate somebody for doing a great job. So I think that's brilliant.
You do. And like you said, you tag them, all their friends see it too, but also you're building a brand. And if your brand is going to be a super competitive, angry agent that doesn't want to talk about anybody else, so be it, that's fine. But that's not my brand. My brand is different. So when I talk about my brand, I'm talking about the kind of person I am, the kind of person I want to be viewed as. I want people to know about what we're doing for the community, what we're doing for our fellow agents, what we're doing for our clients, that kind of stuff. That's my brand. And I guess it's, if your brand is different, then so be it. But there's no reason to put other agents down. Build them up.
It's good. It's good. Man, I love that. I love the heart behind that. So you mentioned listing marketing. So you brand yourself as a listing agent. You like to be creative. So you want to share some ideas or maybe some things that you've done to market listings creatively?
Sure. So the number one thing we're doing that separated us, I wanted to be different than what other agents were doing. And I want people to look at a listing and go, that's Alan's listing, and know right off the bat. And the way we were able to do that in this market, I'm going to step back for a second in the story. A friend of mine who was a realtor for many years, she's an excellent realtor. She told me many years ago that when she has a seller, she asks them to paint their front door a bright color. And the reason being, if people go and look at 5 or 10 houses in a 2-day period or a 1-day period, they can go back in their mind and go, what about the house with the red door? You know what I'm saying? Sure. So I came up with a way, and I didn't come up with it. I stole this from somebody else. I don't even know who. This isn't an original idea, but I took this idea. They are. I took this idea. These agents, they name houses. Every house has a creative name. We're in the Southwest, so I use Spanish names a lot. It'll be like, it has a peach tree in the back. I'll translate it to the Spanish name for peach tree, something like that. When you do the house description, we always do the name of the house first in quotes. And then on the original image, the front image of the thing, we have it written across the screen, the name of the home. So what we're doing, it's got dual purpose. So you look at 5 or 10 houses in a day, you go, what about Bella Vista? Oh, Bella Vista was a beautiful home. And they're referring to these homes. People will call me and be like, hey, I'd like to go look at Bella Vista. And I'll go, okay, Bella Vista. Yeah, I know that. I know the one you're talking about. Let's go check it out. It's a great house. But at the same time, if you pull up a list of houses on your screen, you're going to see a couple of houses with names written across them. And you're going to know that's Alan Elmore, that's AE Properties that's marketing that house. And when we do that, we've separated ourselves with one little thing that we do from everybody else in the market, because nobody else is naming houses. Nobody else puts that on their main image. That's one of the things. So
yeah. And whether it helps you sell the house or not, because it probably does, it's memorable, it's creative, it's also uniquely marketing you and creating a signature for you. So you really are able to double down, and that's terrific.
Correct. Now, I've separated myself because of what we built with social media, and I spent some money on social media to build those pages, to build everything. It cost a lot of money. It does. It's not, you can't just go out there and make a Facebook page and expect people to just add themselves to it. They don't. Facebook is a company that makes money off of these pages. That's how they make their living. Yep. But once we built them up, now I can go out and say, I have the largest social media presence in San Juan County. I have the largest social media presence in this area of the country. And through that, we use that we can reach more people. So when we market a home, we're getting creative with the appearance of the home. We're bringing in professional video, doing professional video, and we do it vertical and horizontal for multiple formats. We do professional photographs. We have drone video and drone photographs. We name a home, and then so we make the home shine, and then we deliver it to the largest audience possible. And nobody can compete with that here. So I'm also in a small town, so I should mention that. I'm a big fish, small pond kind of deal, but we can constantly and continuously market ourselves as the largest reach and having the largest reach of anybody in the area and the most creative marketing. So we have the best marketing in the area. And we can say that I was able to say that after a year in real estate.
It's good. It's brilliant. It's really smart, and it's consistent, and it's the kind of engine that feeds itself.
Yes, it is.
Once you've got the momentum going, its momentum carries forward, and
as long as you don't screw up.
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. Just keep doing. As long as I keep working, it's going to keep working itself. You're right. Yeah. No, that momentum is really nice.
That's awesome. Well, Alan, we need to wrap up. You've been super generous with your time, and
thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. Any parting comments for the audience?
One thing that I didn't mention before, but you have the opportunity and the flexibility in your schedule to do a lot of good in your community, serving on boards, helping nonprofits, being part of your chamber of commerce, being part of your board of realtors. These things, I can't tell you how much they pay dividends. When you're doing something for your community, when you're serving on a board and serving your community, I think you're going to find that pays dividends and comes back financially too. I'm speaking financial dividends. It pays for itself, your time given to your community, and also can be part of your brand as well. I forgot to mention that earlier, but thank you, Brian.
So that's brilliant, and I love wrapping with that. So our stated mission statement is give, serve, and love your community so God gets glory.
That's
so
beautiful.
We serve on boards, we serve in charities, and I've gotten business from 100% of the places that I serve.
Same.
So I don't do it for that reason, but it's amazing that when you do that and you show up with contribution, that it can't help but come back.
Beautiful.
Good measure pressed down and overflowing. So let's wrap with that. Alan, it's been a pleasure. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.